I mean this in the nicest way possible. It's okay to be Delulu. This is I Mean This in the Nicest Way Possible, and I'm your host, Richard Armand Mills. Let me explain a little more in depth, because I know how that word can land. I'm not talking about denial of reality. This is not magical thinking with no effort. Please, don't go out there pretending you're talented at something you haven't practiced. What I'm talking about is self-trust before proof. A type of confidence that outpaces circumstances. Identity-first action. Belief paired with repetition. Refusing to internalize doubt from unqualified observers. When I say Delulu, I'm not talking about fantasy. I'm talking about unwavering self-belief aligned with action. I'm talking about choosing belief early and letting the evidence catch up later. You're not ignoring feedback. You're refusing to let fear lead the meeting. I've been called delusional before. Not because I was disconnected from reality, but because I moved like someone who believed in himself before there was external permission to do so. I put myself forward as a singer and songwriter because I knew I could do it. Not perfectly, not effortlessly, but well enough to commit, improve, and grow. I claimed writer long before anyone handed me a credential. I created this podcast because I knew I had something to say, and I wasn't interested in waiting to be invited to someone else's table. So I built my own and started talking. That kind of confidence makes people uncomfortable. Because when someone moves with certainty before the world cosigns it, it disrupts the social order. It makes people ask, who do they think they are? And the answer is simple. Someone who believes in themselves enough to try. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The world rewards the bold faster than it rewards the qualified. Not because qualifications don't matter. They do. But because bold people start sooner. And the real flex is being both confident enough to start and disciplined enough to improve. This episode is not about ego. It's not about pretending you're the best in the room. It's about refusing to shrink just because the results haven't arrived yet. It's about acting like the person you're becoming while you're still becoming them. In this episode, we're going to break down how Delulu confidence actually works. Psychologically, behaviorally, and through identity loops. We're going to talk about the difference between confidence and fantasy. We're going to talk about affirmations, when they help, when they don't, and how to use them without lying to yourself. We're going to touch the quantum adjacent framing responsibly. Not with magic or manifestation theater, but with momentum. And we're going to talk about why some people hate confident people and why that reaction is not your responsibility to manage. If you've ever felt like you had talent but hesitated to claim it, if you've ever waited for permission that never came, if you've ever watched bolder, not better people win and wondered why, this episode is for you. Because sometimes the difference between the life you want and the life you're living isn't discipline or luck or timing. It's belief that refuses to blink. People call it delusional when your confidence shows up before the evidence does. When your posture, your language, and your decisions reflect who you believe you are becoming, not who you've already been validated as. Early confidence makes people nervous because it disrupts the order they're comfortable with. It breaks the unspoken rule that belief is only allowed after approval. But here's the distinction that matters. Belief is a stance, not a hallucination. Delulu confidence, the kind that actually works, isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing an identity and letting your behavior align with it long before the results are obvious. You act like it's yours while you're still building the proof. You move as if the future version of you already exists. And then you do the work required to meet them. Psychology backs this up. Research on self-belief consistently shows that when people identify as capable early, they take more risks, persist longer through setbacks, and interpret obstacles as feedback instead of failure. According to work discussed in Psychology Today, confidence alters how people approach challenges, making them more resilient and more likely to follow through when things get uncomfortable. Studies summarized by Dr. David Hamilton explain the mechanism. Beliefs influence perception and behavior first, shaping the choices you make, the habits you build, and the effort you sustain. Belief organizes action. Action creates evidence. Evidence then reinforces belief. That's the loop. So when someone says, "You're being delusional," what they often mean is, "Your confidence arrived earlier than mine would have." But early belief isn't a lie. It's a decision, a posture, a refusal to wait until fear feels safe enough to move. Delulu confidence isn't pretending you've already won. It's standing like someone who's still training and refusing to sit down just because the scoreboard hasn't updated yet. Confidence isn't something you're born with or stumble upon one day like a personality upgrade. It's built slowly, repetitively, sometimes painfully, and almost always through action that feels uncomfortable at first. What people call unwavering confidence is usually the visible result of invisible reps. Repeated effort teaches your nervous system that you can survive discomfort. Persistence through setbacks teaches you that failure doesn't equal collapse. Learning cycles, trying, adjusting, refining, create familiarity, and familiarity breeds steadiness. Confidence grows because your system has data, not because you told yourself a nice story once. This is why confidence looks so different from arrogance. Arrogance skips the work and demands the reward. Confidence shows up because the work has been done often enough that doubt no longer runs the show. Psychological research consistently supports this. Studies on self-efficacy highlight that belief strengthens when people see themselves follow through repeatedly, even when outcomes aren't perfect. According to research discussed in Forbes, confidence increases when individuals stack small wins through action, reinforcing the belief that effort leads somewhere meaningful, even when progress is nonlinear. This is also why confidence survives rejection better than motivation ever could. Motivation spikes and crashes. Confidence stabilizes. It's trained through exposure to discomfort, not protection from it. The more often you stay engaged after something goes wrong, the less power that wrong thing has over your identity. As Psychology Today notes, resilient confidence isn't about never doubting. It's about not letting doubt interrupt behavior. You keep showing up. You keep refining. You keep learning. Over time, uncertainty stops feeling like danger and starts feeling like part of the process. So unwavering isn't a trait reserved for the chosen few. It's a practice. One built by choosing effort again after yesterday didn't go perfectly, and discovering over and over that you're still standing. Self-belief doesn't just change how you feel about yourself. It changes how you behave long before any external result shows up. And behavior is where outcomes actually start to shift. When belief is present, risk tolerance increases. You raise your hand sooner. You submit the work. You apply, pitch, share, and perform. Not because you're guaranteed success, but because rejection no longer feels like a threat to your identity. Belief tells the nervous system, I can survive this. Follow through changes next. People with stronger self-belief are more likely to finish what they start, even when enthusiasm fades. They don't interpret resistance as a sign to stop. They read it as part of the process. According to research discussed in Psychology Today, belief acts as a psychological buffer that keeps people engaged through uncertainty and delay, which is where most people drop out. Resilience after failure is the real differentiator. When belief is weak, setbacks feel personal. When belief is strong, setbacks feel informational. Missed opportunities become feedback. Criticism becomes data. Failure becomes temporary instead of defining. Studies on confidence and expectancy effects show that belief shapes how the brain explains outcomes, either as proof of inadequacy or as part of a longer arc of growth. Outcomes don't change because belief is magical. They change because belief keeps you showing up long enough for reality to catch up. Identity is a powerful shortcut to consistency. When someone sees themselves as the kind of person who does the thing, the friction around starting drops. Practice stops feeling optional. Effort stops requiring negotiation. Action becomes alignment instead of motivation. This is where flow and focus enter. Flow isn't mystical. It's the state that emerges when skill, challenge, and attention line up. Research discussed in Psychology Today notes that people enter flow more easily when they already identify with the activity they're doing. Writers write more easily when they believe they're writers. Musicians practice more naturally when they see music as part of who they are. Identity clears the runway. Each small action becomes a receipt, evidence that reinforces the identity. What starts as a belief becomes behavior. Behavior becomes consistency. Consistency produces visible progress. And progress retroactively justifies the confidence people once questioned. Affirmation research summarized by Dr. David Hamilton shows that when beliefs are paired with action, the brain begins to update self-concept based on evidence, not fantasy. The nervous system stops treating the identity as pretend because the body keeps proving it true. The key isn't pretending to be finished. It's acting like someone in progress, every day, on purpose. When receipts stack, belief stops needing defense. It simply becomes obvious. Affirmations get a bad reputation because most people use them wrong. Saying everything is perfect while avoiding the work creates dissonance, not confidence. The brain doesn't respond to fantasy. It responds to credibility. Effective affirmations are specific, grounded, and action-oriented. They reinforce agency instead of bypassing reality. Statements like, "I'm the kind of person who follows through," or "I can handle rejection and keep going," don't deny difficulty. They normalize it. They frame challenge as survivable, not threatening. Research on self-affirmation shows that when people affirm values tied to effort and competence, they're more likely to persist through stress and setbacks. According to Psychology Today, affirmations work best when they strengthen a person's sense of control and identity, rather than attempting to override doubt with positivity alone. The goal isn't to feel amazing. It's to stay engaged. Used this way, affirmations don't avoid reality. They train the nervous system to stay in the game long enough for reality to change. This is where people get nervous, so it matters to be precise. This isn't think it once and it drops from the sky. Nothing appears without movement. What actually happens is more grounded and more powerful. There's strong evidence from expectancy and placebo research showing that belief can influence outcomes by altering stress responses, focus, and follow-through. A large review published in Psychological Medicine highlights that expectancy effects work not because people imagine results, but because belief alters physiological and behavioral responses that support those results. According to Brain Magazine's overview on why beliefs are so powerful, belief acts as a filter for perception and decision-making, determining what someone sees as possible or worth pursuing. That's the quantum-adjacent part people feel without always understanding. Observation influences behavior. Identity influences action. Action compounds. Belief doesn't replace effort. It organizes it. It tells effort where to go, how long to stay, and when to try again. That's not magic. That's momentum with a backbone. This is where confidence starts to bother people, when it shows up without apology. Timothée Chalamet is a clean example of belief that arrives early but stays grounded. His confidence doesn't scream, it signals. There's a calm certainty to how he moves. Like someone who assumes he belongs in the room and then does the work to justify staying there. According to the Sydney Morning Herald's profile on his confidence, what reads as bold to outsiders is really consistency, preparation, taste, and a refusal to delude himself for approval. Then there's Kanye West, the extreme case. His career shows both sides of delusional confidence. Early on, belief fueled innovation in sound, fashion, and risk-taking. According to the Odyssey Online's analysis of his confidence, that same belief eventually detached from feedback and consequence, turning ego into the main event instead of the work. That contrast is the lesson. Confidence offends people when it shows up early, but it collapses when it stops listening to reality. The power is not in believing you're untouchable. The power is in believing enough to create, refine, and stay accountable to the craft. Delulu works when belief serves the work, not when it replaces it. There is a line, and crossing it is what turns confidence into self-sabotage. Delulu confidence is not pretending skill gaps don't exist. It's not refusing feedback. It's not demanding recognition without reps. According to research summarized in Psychology Today on confidence development, self-belief becomes unstable when it disconnects from learning, correction, and effort. Confidence that can't absorb information eventually collapses under its own weight. Delulu confidence is starting before you feel ready. It's training where people can see you. It's allowing discomfort, critique, and growth to coexist with belief. Studies on self-efficacy and performance cycles show that people who believe they can improve are more likely to seek feedback, persist longer, and adapt faster, letting results catch up to identity rather than waiting for permission to begin. The difference is simple. Ego protects itself from reality. Delulu confidence collaborates with it. Belief leads. Practice follows. Then proof arrives. That's the line you don't cross, and the one that keeps confidence powerful instead of fragile. This is the blueprint that's guided everything I've built. I claim things early, not loudly, not defensively, just cleanly. I say, I'm a singer, I'm a writer, I'm a creator. Not because someone handed me a title, but because I knew the work was already happening. Identity came first, and proof followed. Then I back it up daily. Reps, practice, output, refinement. Some days it's inspired, some days it's mechanical, but it's consistent. Confidence without follow-through is just noise. Confidence with repetition becomes gravity. I've also learned to normalize being misunderstood. When you move with certainty before people are ready to agree, it gets labeled as arrogance, That's fine. Confident people almost always get misread before they get respected. And here's the rule I live by. If you know you're good at something, if the talent is real, the interest is real, and the work is being done, stop asking for permission. Claim it. Tend to it. Let the receipts speak when they're ready. The first thing that keeps your Delulu grounded is picking the lane you're actually talented in. Not fantasy, not cosplay, not wishing you were good at something you actively avoid practicing. Real skill, real interest, real potential. The thing people have already hinted you're good at. The thing you lose time doing. The thing you keep circling back to even when no one's watching. Delulu works best when it amplifies something that's already alive in you. That's not arrogance, that's accuracy. The second thing is speaking like it's yours and working like it's earned. Identity comes first, but effort follows immediately. Claiming I'm a writer means writing. Saying I'm a singer means rehearsing, recording, and refining. The words create the container. The work fills it. Confidence opens the door, but consistency keeps you in the room. This is how belief stops sounding aspirational and starts sounding inevitable. And the third shift is treating doubt like background noise. Doubt doesn't disappear when you're doing something right. It usually gets louder. It questions timing, readiness, and worth. That doesn't mean it gets a vote. Doubt can sit in the passenger seat, comment on the scenery, even complain about the route, but it does not get to touch the wheel. Forward motion doesn't require certainty. It requires direction. That is the balance. Belief without delusion. Confidence without avoidance. Ambition without fantasy. You don't wait to feel ready. You decide who you are, and then you show up long enough for reality to catch up. Now for the Make Your Delulu Tralulu Challenge. Pick one goal you've been shy about. The one you downplay. The one you joke about instead of claiming. The one that makes you hesitate before saying it out loud. That's the one. Now write one identity statement that's bold but true. Not inflated, not performative. Honest and rooted. I'm a writer. I'm a producer. I'm a builder. I'm a leader. Something that reflects real interest and real ability, even if it still feels tender to say. Then, for the next 7 days, take one action per day that matches that identity. One rep, one practice session, one page, one reach out, one refinement. Small is fine. Consistency is the point. No announcement required, no posting, no explaining yourself. This is not about convincing anyone else. This is about stacking receipts quietly, where confidence actually comes from. Belief starts the motion. Action proves the sincerity. At the end of the week, you don't need a transformation. You just need evidence that your confidence isn't imaginary. It's already under construction. Here's the truth, and it's one a lot of people never let themselves touch. Being Delulu is not losing touch with reality. Being Delulu is refusing to let fear be the loudest voice in the room. It's choosing belief before the results show up, and staying consistent long enough for those results to have a chance to meet you. Most people don't fail because they're untalented. They fail because they narrate their lives from a place of hesitation. They wait to feel ready. They wait for permission. They wait for certainty. And while they're waiting, bolder, not better, people move. Delulu confidence interrupts that pattern. It says, I don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. I don't need unanimous approval to begin. I don't need external validation to treat myself seriously. I will act in alignment with who I believe I am becoming, even while the proof is still loading. That's not fantasy. That's courage with a work ethic. Fear tells you to wait. Delulu tells you to move. And that's why it offends people. Because confidence, when it isn't begging for approval, exposes how often others shrink themselves to stay comfortable. It reminds people of the chances they didn't take, the versions of themselves they abandoned because it felt safer to stay quiet than risk being wrong. But here's the thing. You don't have to be loud to be Delulu. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to posture or perform. The strongest form of this confidence is calm. It's grounded. It shows up every day, does the work, and lets the results speak when they're ready. That's the version that lasts. The version where you stop contorting yourself to fit what feels acceptable and start moving in ways that feel true. One of the fastest ways to expand your life is to stop shrinking your confidence. You don't need to be reckless. You don't need to be unrealistic. You don't need to claim something you haven't earned. You just need to be unwavering. Unwavering in your willingness to try. Unwavering in your commitment to improve. Unwavering in your refusal to let fear write the script. That's not arrogance. It's self-trust in motion. And if someone calls that delusional, good. It probably means you're moving faster than their comfort zone and closer to the life you actually want. Because the kindest thing you can do is be real. I'm Ram, and thanks for getting real with me today. You just finished listening to I Mean This in the Nicest Way Possible, written and produced by Richard Armand Mills.